right, I'm not left, I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm not libertarian. I'm a human being that wants the best for the rest of the human beings, and I want some.
What up, YouTube? This is Mike from the Clip Farm. We're back with another one.
Matt from the Clip Farm. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video.
I'm Jay from the Clip Farm. Along for the ride, brought my tinfoil hat.
I don't think you'll need your tinfoil hat today. We're going to be talking about immigration issues in various blue cities, and we'll kick this thing off out of Harlem, New York. It's about 4 minutes, I think, of this video we're going to play. I can't really pause, so we'll probably just talk through some of it whenever we need to. And then each of you guys have a video we're going to share as well. So go ahead and hit this first one here.
Adams holding the second round of conversations with outraged Harlem residents after scrapping a plan to use luxury neighborhood complex to house migrants.
Can you guys hear it?
Came to my attention from
It's a bit quiet, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit low.
We said, wait a minute, hold on, hit the pause on that. That can't happen. We're not going to use a new structure when you're dealing with issues right in the village of Harlem. That is the pause. So let's be clear on that. Migrants and asylum seekers are not moving into that location. I stopped it.
But outraged residents at that meeting, including our next guest, say they should
stopped them from moving there, apparently.
Joining us now,
but he's the one that made it a sanctuary city.
Darrell Fulton, Leslie Johnson, and Gilda Dunn Gillum. Ladies and gentlemen,
sounds good on TV, but then you run into the residents that live there.
You said you couldn't believe that he's doing this during Black History Month.
Well, when we say he, not necessarily the mayor, it's the city, DSS and DHS. You know, they're doing this.
Those are federal,
here
for those
in Harlem
listening.
With no transparency. You know, we coming out and we
it
see
is the mayor because he's ignoring their policies and
nobody was aware that this was happening. No one. I reached out to every elected official in the 70th Assembly District, and no one knew anything.
Oh, you mean you got what you voted for?
Officials when they say
that's true.
No,
wow,
this is a surprise to them.
I don't believe that.
So, what's been the reaction from the people of Harlem?
Well, of course they're upset. They're outraged. I mean, they've been overlooked for so long. How do you think you would feel if you have a brand new luxury building, as they describing it, and people are living sometimes 2 and 3 generations in one apartment, and now you don't even want to give it to them. You want to bring outsiders in. Like, what does that look like? You got to take care of the residents that are already there, sufferings. We can't do that any further.
Gilda, pretty much all of my friends that are in the city live in Harlem. And Harlem is a particular community.
Yes.
And they're already struggling when it comes to the education system. You got poverty.
Tiptoed around that.
People,
what he actually meant there.
Black businesses that can't afford certain things. Was it a slap in the face to say, we have no resources for you, but we have resources for the illegals?
Well, absolutely. And just to know some of the statistics, there's 1 in 4 people of color in New York City that are rent burdened. And in Central Harlem alone, it's 44% of people who are rent burdened, which means 1/3 of their income goes to rent. And in our community, we see our neighbors being displaced. We see our friends and our families being displaced because they cannot afford rent. So we were glad that Mayor
Supply and
Adams
demand,
came to
by the way, that's what
both of
causes
our
that.
community forums on Thursday and on yesterday. And so we are having a healthy conversation with him, as well as some of the other city commissioners, to rectify and remedy what has been going on and what is going on.
This was 2 months ago. This
2201
little
Adams
thing
Powell
that they're
Jr.
talking about here was from 2 months ago.
So Leslie, part of the reason why this is happening is because New York decided there was going to be a sanctuary city. Joe Biden supports that. The mayor, the city council supports that. Do you feel like the overall policy is just a bad idea? Because when they decide to be sanctuary, they tend to send them to Black and brown neighborhoods.
Yeah, I agree to that, because they wouldn't send them downtown, you know, to interrupt what's going on down there. Up here, we have no say-so of what goes on anywhere up here.
But you
They
do. You
said
do. When you
power.
vote, you have all the fucking
can't
say-so and
know
all the power with your
anything
vote.
about what's going to happen.
That do tend
Yeah.
to be
This
the
is what
case.
happens when you listen to celebrities in the
But
mainstream
St.
media and
Nicholas
all this
houses,
shit
we have
about
3,000 units.
who's bad and who you should vote for, and you don't
And we
actually
are being
research
moved.
shit. This kind of
We
shit
are under
happens to you.
martyrization. We can use those places to put the seniors in. We can use it to put the people that are handicapped inside so that they don't.
We'll pause that there. We'll talk about that a little bit because we kind of had to let that one play. But yeah, I mean, they do have a choice. You have a voice. You you voted. You know, maybe this panel of 5 didn't vote. The last guy was a lawyer, and he gets into some, you know, legal mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, nobody wants to listen to lawyers.
Listen to 3 idiots on the internet instead. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is, like I said, this is Harlem, and that's a primarily one of the black boroughs of New York. So there's, you know, 5 boroughs of New York, and I know Jay had another story from a different borough that he's going to share, but yeah, it's at the end of the day, you know, we're like, it's New York, it's Chicago, it's LA. But at the end of the day, these are still all our brothers and sisters. These are Americans.
Yeah.
And they're being
most of these people can't do what some of the rich Democrats do, and that's just pack up and move to other states like Florida and stuff like that. Like people can't afford to just up and reroute their life and move away like that. Like these people actually got to live with the consequences of the voting and these people that get elected. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that one woman said they had 3 generations living in one household. And that's a common thing in Harlem?
It wasn't a household, it was an apartment.
That's not as uncommon as you guys might think. I mean, even here on reservations, it's the same way. You've got 3, sometimes 4 generations living under one roof, simply because the kids and, you know, grandkids and great grandkids can't afford to get out on their own. I say here it's mainly due to a lack of a job economy, but I don't
think we've actually discussed your origin story yet, but I think you gave a little bit of it up there, so that's great.
Yeah, gave it up. Res life.
We jokingly call him Tonto, but we love our friend Matt.
What happens on the res gets bitched about on the internet.
Quite often.
All right, I'll go ahead and share Jay's story here.
All right, let's go.
Now this, a Queens resident says migrants have turned his neighborhood into the epicenter of crime and prostitution. He's got the video. You're seeing it. I'm talking about Ramesses Frias, who joins me now. You've lived in that neighborhood your entire life. Has it ever been this bad? Tell me.
No. I mean, we've always had our share of issues, but right now things are just running rampant. It's just way too much prostitution, violent crime, and a lot of illegal street vendors that are just setting up shop and, doing this in a lawless nature.
Now, this is AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's neighborhood. That's her area. Where is she?
Never here. Like I said before, she doesn't come and campaign on this side of things. She likes to stay on the nicer side of town. She's never walking around here. You'll never see her, stop in on one of our shops here. She's just never around.
Man, she's as fake as a $3 bill. This fucking crazy bitch.
She looks evil.
Well, the locals are all, they're quiet, but they need their voice. When they come to me, they tell me, look, this is it's horrible right now. We need help. No one's helping us. No one's trying to help us. Local officials turn a blind eye, and constantly they try to reach out to these local officials, and they'll tell them, oh, just send an email. We'll have a meeting, and the meeting never happens. So the outcry from the residents is there.
You're a Democrat turned Republican running for New York State Assembly. Do you think a Republican can win in New York City?
We definitely can.
Yeah, you piss them off like you've been doing, they're definitely going to win. Seems like the people in New York are starting to wake up and realize these people
I should say.
they're
just not representing the people. And it's just become an issue that, you know, where we have to step up now. The Republicans have to, you know, show a strong force and keep pushing forward.
Yeah, make a change here. Ramesses, thank you very much for joining us. Certainly, we hope to see you again.
I say nothing on dude there, but Ramesses Prius. That is that was the name is very unique. It just caught my attention. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I found longtime Democrat turned Republican, and the policies of the Democrats, unfortunately, is to promise the world to people who believe it.
Yeah.
And then they don't deliver. And people are starting to wake up because they're watching people getting $1,400 a month checks plus free housing plus free food in their cities while they ain't getting shit. And they're living with their grandmothers, their moms and dad. Like,
yeah. And even the police are protesting in New York right now. They're like, they're letting criminals out after they just get them, and then they're bringing them back and just letting them right out. And they're killing cops and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So they're like, it's getting crazy over there in New York right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, the beginning part of the city that we were talking about. But Matt has this story to share out of Chicago, and so I believe your story, Jay, was from like, I don't know, you said like a month ago, maybe.
Let me look that up.
My story was from my story. The first video we watched was from February. Jay's was from a month ago, and Matt's story is from 2 days ago, Chicago. And we do like to try to source different news sources than Fox News, but go try to find anything on illegal immigration. And you don't really...
the rest of the media just conveniently doesn't cover these things.
Yeah.
So we're kind of pigeonholed a little bit here on using Fox News. Like, they're just as fake as everybody else, but
yeah,
they do some reports on these things. So we will touch on them, but I do try to bring news sources from other platforms. But
I say in most of our stories, you will see us using MSN or whoever, anybody but Fox generally, simply to avoid that pigeonhole. But this is one of those stories that, well, the other news agencies just won't cover. Doesn't fit their narrative.
All right, let's roll out to Chicago and see what they got to say here.
Yourself with somebody who's obviously a one-term mayor, if he even makes it that far, you better be worrying about your job. You better be worrying about your longevity, because we're going to vote and we're going to get you out because you ain't doing right by us. That's
Chicago's doing it right. They know where the problem is, and they said, we're going to fix this.
To tack on another $70 million to migrant funding.
$70 million.
To the point that some voters are now working to get him out of office, as you heard that constituent there saying. Garrett Tenney live in Chicago with the story. Hi, Garrett.
Yeah, Dana, good morning to you. This migrant issue has become an Achilles heel for Mayor Brandon Johnson, so much so that there are now multiple efforts underway to vote out Democrats and the mayor. We saw that yesterday at the city council meeting, where several groups of black voters showed up wearing red shirts with the words "No More Blue, Go Red," and "Turn Chicago Red." Many of these folks are lifelong Democrats who are now actively working to shake up deep blue Chicago, specifically because of how the mayor and the governor have handled the migrant crisis, doling out more than $1 billion so far for that.
Whoa. He said $1 billion.
Yes, he did.
$1 billion. You know how much money that is? What that could do for a community? Like,
bro, he said $1 billion to illegal immigrants in the city of Chicago.
I thought 70 million was a lot of
dollars, by the way. That is not state money or federal money, which any state or federal money is your taxpayers' dollars. So remember that. These people are throwing money around to people who have never paid taxes.
That's crazy. Man. No wonder they're pissed. I'd be super pissed. $1 billion, and then they're asking for 70 million more.
Yeah.
Well, then I know I caught stories about kids in cities like this, resident kids that aren't getting food allowances or stuff at schools anymore because they have to allocate those funds and food for illegal immigrants.
Yep.
So now
directly
some of these poor communities, these kids may only get 1 meal or 2 meals a day, and it's from the school, and that's being cut and given to people that came here illegally.
Yeah.
It's never paid not 1 cent in any kind of tax or anything.
Exactly. And I just want to say one thing. I don't have a problem, and I don't think any of us do, with immigration.
Not at all.
As long as you're doing it legally. If you come here with legitimate intent, you go through the process, you make the effort to become a U.S. citizen and integrate into our society.
And you're on the books paying your share that every last one of us pay every time we get paid.
Yeah,
they take that before we even get paid. You know what I mean?
I said, but these people, most of these illegal immigrants, don't have any intent to integrate into our society. That was something with the street vendors. Down in Mexico and South America, you see that all the time. That is just the way of life down there. They're not trying to adapt to our way of life. They're trying to import their way of life and run by the rules that they're used to.
Yeah, the real victims are the American people. I'm gonna play the rest of this. Man, they just hit me with that 1 billion, and I think that if I heard that correct, that was just the latest spending. They've been spending more than that. That's
well, they said they already spent $1 billion, more than $1 billion, and they're already asking for 70 million more. It's like, what? Where's this money going? Like,
well, yeah, but go back 3 years.
It's crazy.
That was 1 year's spending. So
it's
what they
spend
spend
problem when it comes time to vote, they're gonna have a real problem on their hands. I think a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs, and people are starting to wake up and have an uprising. Watch, it's coming.
Well, there needs to be more people like us doing this. You know, this video may only get 20 views, and shout out to all of you guys. I appreciate every last one of you, even our haters. It helps us. So, but there needs to be more channels talking about things like this, because there's a lot of people that still just believe whatever CNN, Fox News, and everybody else says, and they need to start actually talking to your fucking neighbors, talking to people in these communities, and getting to know what is actually happening.
Yeah.
They're just blindly voting by listening to celebrities or their favorite sports figure or whoever they're in the pocket of what politician telling them to do something. But at the end of the line, they don't see the kid that's missing his school lunch because they took it from him to give it to some person who came here illegally and never paid a cent in taxes and doesn't plan on it and just wants to do stuff. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, stop listening to people like P. Diddy, because that was his thing. P. Diddy was a big you may not remember, but he had the vote or die when it came to Obama. Huge Obama supporter, and pushed a lot of people to vote that way. Stop listening to Taylor Swift talk to you about men. She's got 100 songs about failed relationships. Stop listening to these dumb idiots.
Or LeBron James, who's been rich since high school.
Yeah. Stop listening to these people, because they don't live the same lifestyle you do. You know, it's unreal. All right. Well,
as in, they're being paid to espouse these beliefs too.
Right.
$1 billion from the city's rainy day fund to take care of the migrants.
We need that money in my neighborhood. We need that on my block. So
Yep.
I'm asking y'all to use our tax money for our people. We need it. You vote for the money for these immigrants today, and we coming for them seats. You can believe that.
The police are fighting with them in the shelters that you guys are funding. You guys think it's a great idea, but yet your police officers are getting attacked. Your public's getting attacked.
They don't give a damn
Currently,
about their
state law
police in
does
that
not
city.
allow voters to recall Chicago's mayor.
people.
After seeing how Mayor Johnson's first year has gone with the migrants and crime, a new group wants to change that by getting a referendum on the ballot this November that would pave the way to voting Johnson out.
We're not.
They're already trying to get him out. It's only been a year.
That's what it's all
Yeah.
about. The
Yeah.
fact of the matter is that we've never had this opportunity to recall before. And it's very apparent based on the mayor's abilities right now, or lack of accountability, that this needs to be addressed.
You know how shitty of a mayor or bad
Mayor
your job you have to
Johnson
be if they've never been able to do that before, but they're gonna now set forth laws to change laws just to fire your ass. Like,
Well, and one point on that, I don't know what the local laws are there, but okay, you can pass a law tomorrow, but anybody who's already getting away with whatever it is, you know, like they're going to pass a law to vote this guy out. Well, it's not going to work. I say, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong on this, but there's the grandfather clauses. Any law that goes into effect doesn't affect those who have, like the next time this, you know, the next mayor that gets elected, okay, they can use that on him. I don't think it's going to work for this guy though.
yeah,
Like I say, I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think people are just sick of you know, because we in 2019 and 2020 we had all those riots and defunding the police and all that. And Chicago was hit really hard with defunding the police. Seattle was hit really hard, Minneapolis. And a lot of these cops have been walking away. And so citizens are in more danger than they've ever been in these certain cities.
Yep.
And Chicago has been called Chirac forever. You know, they have
20
I think in the last couple of years, they've only had 7 days total, not consecutive, just 7 days where there hasn't been a shooting.
Yeah.
and they got some of the strictest gun laws you can have, right?
They do. They do have some of the strictest
So
gun
they're
laws.
taking guns away from law-abiding citizens. So now the only ones with guns are the people that are gonna go shoot at each other and stuff like that. That makes
and the cops are walking away in masses. It's just it's unreal.
Pretty bad when Chirac has a higher casualty count than most current war zones. You just said
it's unbelievable. But with that being said, I think we'll wrap this story up. Look forward to the three of us will keep doing these together individually. We're going to get Jay on some of his. He's not, like I said, he's not really into politics yet. We are.
I know, because every time I get into politics, it just pisses me off. I'm legitimately pissed right now for these people, dog. Like, it's bullshit.
These are our Americans. These are our brothers and sisters. They just live in different cities, and
they're getting
I feel
fucked
for
over
them
right now. Sorry for cursing, but God, I'm so angry about this.
Yeah.
No, like I said,
You should be. You should be.
Yeah.
But we will try to get Jay on more political stuff, but he's got some other videos he'll be doing on this channel. We're not going to be just politics. We will be hitting politics pretty hard for a while, but
season.
Yeah, presidential race is heating up. So
it's about to get crazy.
Oh yeah. You're going to see Matt and Mike going nuts here for a little bit. But we will get Jay into some political stuff, but he's got other things he's going to be doing. So look forward to what he's got coming. Matt and myself will keep hitting politics pretty hard. And we will continue to try to give you videos Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We appreciate every last one of you. And we will see you in the next one.
Give us a like.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, share us out, whatever. We appreciate every last one of you. Have a good one.